Hungarian Folk Tales. The Little Pig and the Wolves. Once upon a time, there was a little pig who lived in a little house in the middle of a vast forest. The little pig was cooking supper one day when a scruffy wolf knocked on his door. Little pig, let me in. It's so cold out here, I'll freeze to death. No, I won't let you in because you'll eat me up. Just let my back leg in or I'll freeze to death. The little pig put a big pot of water to boil on the fire, and then he let the wolf's back leg into the house. Oh, little pig, please let my other back leg in too. Little pig, please let my two front feet in now. The little pig let the wolf's two front feet in, but the scruffy wolf still wasn't happy. Little pig, please let all of me in, and I promise I won't hurt a hair on your head. The little pig found a sack and held it open so that the wolf would walk right into it. And that's what he did. The little pig wasted no time and tied the sack up in a flash. Then he took the pot off the fire and poured boiling water all over the wolf. The steaming hot water made the wolf shout, and he wriggled and jiggled until he pushed the sack open. The bold, scolded wolf jumped out of the sack and saw the little pig sitting at the top of the tree. And the wolf ran off to find help. The bold, scolded wolf eventually returned with the other wolves. The wolves thought and thought about how they would catch the little pig, as none of them could climb a tree. At long last, they decided to stand on one another's shoulders until they reached the little pig. The wolves climbed quickly one on top of the other. The bold, scolded wolf stayed at the bottom because he was afraid of heights, so the others all climbed on top of him. The Tower of Wolves reached up to the sky until they only needed one more wolf on the top. The last wolf started to climb, and the little pig shouted, "Pour hot water on the bold one!" The bold, scolded wolf leapt out from the bottom of the pile and ran as fast as his legs could carry him. The wolves tumbled to the ground in a heap of furry bones. Then all the little piglet had to do was to jump down from the tree and go back into his little house. And the bad wolves never dared come near again. Hungarian Folk Tales. Brother Fox. The fox and the wolf were not the best of friends. The fox had tricked the wolf too many times, and so the wolf decided it was time to eat the fox. One day, 12 carts full of fish came trundling down the road. The fox stole a stack of fish from one of them. The wolf went to the fox's hole and shouted in, "You know, Brother Fox, I'm going to eat you now because you have cheated me so many times." Then he saw the pile of fish. "But give me some of that fish first, Brother Fox." "All right, I'll give you a couple." And the fox gave him some. "Where did you catch these, Brother Fox?" "In the river, Brother Wolf." "Well, teach me how to catch some too." "All right, Brother Wolf, I'll teach you." So they both went out onto the frozen river and cut a hole in the ice. "Well, Brother Fox, put your tail in here and wait until the fish begin to bite. You need to wait until it gets good and heavy," and that's exactly what happened. The fox left the wolf behind. The wolf tried his tail a couple of times, but it was still too light, and he said, "There still aren't enough fish on the end." So he kept his tail dipped in the water, but then his tail froze fast, and he tried to pull it out, but he couldn't. When the women went down to the river the next morning, they saw the wolf, and they beat him with big sticks. The wolf leapt about until his tail tore off, and he ran away in anger. Then the wolf met the fox again. "Now I'm going to eat you, Brother Fox, because you cheated me again, and you can see that I've lost my tail. Why did you keep it in for so long? Were there so many fish on the end that you couldn't pull it out, you foolish wolf? Why did you do it? You know, Brother Wolf, I happen to know about a wedding party in the village. Let's go together and have some fun." And the silly wolf believed what the fox told him. The fox and the wolf went to the wedding party that evening. The farmer had left the barn door open. The fox said, "Don't make any noise, because the people at the party will hear you and kill you." They both started to eat. The fox began to feel very merry, and so he said to the wolf, "Brother Wolf, I want to sing a jolly song." The wolf said, "Don't, or else we shall be killed. Go to the top of the cellar and sing there." The fox started to sing so loudly that all the people came out from the party. They beat the wolf so badly that he barely survived. The fox had a brilliant idea and rolled in tar in the hen's trough. The tar froze on the fox and looked just like bone sticking out of his skin. Then he went to the road where he knew the wolf would pass. He lay in his way and started to groan and moan in pain. The wolf eventually hobbled by. "Now I'm definitely going to eat you up, Brother Fox. Brother Fox, you had me badly beaten, although I told you not to sing. Your problem is less than mine, Brother Wolf. You know what, Brother Fox? Sit on my back." And they walked like this for a while until the fox said, "The beaten one carries the unbeaten one, the unbroken one carries the broken one." "Excuse me, what was that you said, Brother Fox? I am fighting to stay alive, Brother Wolf. I don't know who will look after my children when I'm gone." They carried on walking like this for a while until the fox said again, "The beaten one carries the unbeaten one, he carries the unbroken." "What was that again, Brother Fox?" "I'm fighting to stay alive, Brother Wolf. I don't know who will look after my children when I'm gone." Then the fox started again. "The beaten one carries the unbeaten one. What are you going on about again, Brother Fox?" "I'm fighting to stay alive, Brother Wolf. I don't know who will look after my children when I'm gone." Then the fox leapt into his hole, but the wolf caught the fox's foot. "You did not catch my foot, Brother Fox. It's the tree root." The wolf let the foot go and then caught the root. "I won't budge from your hole until you come out, and then I will eat you." But the fox could make do with the fish he had. The wolf got very hungry and left the fox's house. And he has been roaming the forest ever since. Hungarian Folk Tales. Bees on the Train. Once upon a time there was a large farm, and on that farm lived a man who had relatives from another village who came to visit him one day. They did not want to arrive empty-handed, so they brought him a gift of honey. The honey was quickly eaten with big chunks of fresh bread and was soon all gone. But while they sat eating, they discussed what a fine thing it was to keep bees and how simple it was with such rich rewards. The man could hardly wait for the next farm gathering, where he suggested they should buy bees to make honey. The head farmer agreed and asked if there was anyone willing to work with bees. A man stood up and said he knew all there was to know about bees. He also told them that he knew where to buy bees if that was what they wanted, and everyone cheered with joy. They worked out how much money to give the man, and he set off to buy bees for the farm. He bought as many hives as he could put on a train. Then he had the whole car covered in red cloth and had red clothes and a red hat made to wear. He soon made friends with the bees and spoke to them. He opened the door, and the bees came and went as they pleased. When they were halfway back to the farm, the train drove into a sidetrack, and the engine left. So the man asked the station master, "Why has the engine gone?" "Because," the station master said, "it was ordered to leave." "How long will the train be in the station?" "Who am I to know that?" "Don't talk to me like that, kind sir, because if I know that the train will be staying here for a whole day long, then I will let my bees out so they can have some air and food." "The train will remain for at least 3 days more," the station master told him. The beekeeper went out and opened up the hives. Come out, children, and have some air. Find food for yourselves and return to your hives in time for the sunset." The bees had barely left when suddenly the station master had an order to start the train again. The beekeeper saw from the top of the carriage that the engine was coming and the train was hooked up, and they sat waiting for the station master's signal to start. The beekeeper ran to complain. "What is all of this? You never told me about this station master, but I received an order to start the train. But that's impossible. My bees are still in the field. They cost a fortune. What am I to do with your bees? The station master replied. I am a station master and not a beekeeper. Well, at least leave the carriage with the bees here in the station so it can be coupled up with another train tomorrow. That's impossible. And with these words, he started the train, which left the station with the bees' carriage. The beekeeper also left in his red clothes. While most of the bees were busy gathering honey, they sent a small party back to see if all was safe with their carriage in the station. Well, when they arrived, they saw that the train had taken their hives away. They returned to the meadow and told the others that their carriage had vanished. So all of the bees flew back to the station, and when they arrived, they found people waiting for a passenger train. Well, the bees thought that these people had stolen their hives, and so they stung them and stung them. The people cried out for help. The station master heard their calls, so he rushed out of his office, and he too was attacked by the angry swarm. His wife heard his cries and opened the window to see what was wrong. And as she opened the window, the bees rushed in and stung her so badly that she cried louder than all the rest. The station master heard this, and he ran upstairs to find out what had happened to his wife. And then he saw that the whole room was filled with bees. The two of them had to hide under a blanket to save their skins, but both were badly stung and their faces sadly swollen. The people waiting for the train all ran back to their homes, but the swarm of bees flew after them. The other villagers heard their shouts and ran out into the street. Help! The village is being attacked by bees! And they rang the big bell. The station master eventually came to his senses, and he called for the train to be sent back to the station, and it soon reappeared on the platform. The beekeeper, still dressed all in red, climbed on top of the carriage and started to call the bees back. Come on, children, your hives are here. The bees, hearing their master's voice, gathered together and flew back in an orderly fashion. Those that had survived the bloody battle made their way quietly back into their hives. Then the beekeeper went to see the station master, but he could hardly recognize him. You deserved whatever happened because you spoke to me so rudely. But the beekeeper eventually forgave the station master, and the beekeeper went back to the farm and laughed when he recalled what had happened that day. The bees soon started to make honey on the farm and made more money than all the farmers and animals put together. From then on, life on the farm was sweet.